At times, the concepts for skyscrapers venture into the realm of being exceptionally ambitious and occasionally outright absurd. In this video, we'll explore the skyscraper designs that were considered too daring to become a reality. This includes a structure that aimed to dwarf the Empire State Building, the developers who claimed they could erect the world's tallest building in just 90 days, and the audacious notion of a skyscraper so tall that it required a vertical bullet train as an elevator. Currently, only 2.2% of our viewers have subscribed to our channel, so if you appreciate our content, please be sure to click the subscribe button. Number 5. India Tower. Starting with the smallest on our list, let's travel to Mumbai, India. In the early 21st century, Mumbai was a bustling city, but it lacked an iconic symbol like Paris had the Eiffel Tower or New York had the Statue of Liberty. Enter the India Tower. Proposed in 2008, this building was initially planned to stand at 301 meters tall. However, just 2 years later, its height was doubled to a staggering 707 meters. The India Tower was a creation of Foster & Partners, a UK-based architectural firm renowned for designing many famous buildings. Its futuristic design aimed to symbolize India as a modern and prosperous nation. The tower was envisioned to feature expansive observation decks on the 93rd and 94th floors, including a dedicated VIP floor. To counteract strong winds, a tuned mass damper, a technology also used in structures like the Shanghai Tower and Taipei 101, was planned. While this was an exciting venture, it faced criticism. Local authorities believed the skyscraper was too tall and initiated a prolonged legal battle against the developers. Eventually, the India Tower received approval, and construction commenced in 2010. However, just a year later, construction faced another obstacle. As construction began, India's economy, previously flourishing, started to slow down. The once rapidly growing economy began to stagnate, causing difficulties for future developments. Financial troubles plagued the developers, leading to a construction freeze imposed by authorities in March 2011. All work on the tower came to a halt. By 2013, the investors made the difficult decision to abandon the project entirely. The developers were left with an empty lot. Several years later, a somewhat less ambitious project emerged. Instead of a single massive building, 2 60-story towers were proposed. But this project also failed to take off. Construction was abandoned once again, and the Indian media began to describe the site as jinxed. While the India Tower was already a highly ambitious project, our next mega project truly shocked the world. Number 4. Sky City Tower. In 2012, a Chinese construction company made a daring announcement to the world. Not only would they construct the tallest building globally, but they would do it in a mere 90 days. This proposed structure would soar 10 meters higher than the Burj Khalifa, which took 6 years to complete. At that time, the Burj Khalifa had just been unveiled as the world's tallest building, and Dubai's reign in the record books would have ended, potentially making it the second tallest. The key to this astounding speed was the use of prefabricated concrete blocks that could be swiftly assembled on-site, akin to assembling IKEA furniture, albeit for the world's tallest skyscraper. While modular construction was not a new concept, it had never been employed for skyscrapers of this magnitude. The proposal was nothing short of audacious, with the building reaching an astonishing 838 meters in height, encompassing 220 floors, and designed to withstand earthquakes up to magnitude 9. In case of emergencies, its 8-inch thick walls and triple-glazed windows could withstand even the most formidable storms. Incredibly, it was claimed that this building could house 30,000 people. The notion that 30,000 homes could be built in just 90 days had the potential to revolutionize the housing market. Moreover, the construction costs for this building were staggeringly low, amounting to $1,500 per square meter compared to $15,000 per square meter for the Burj Khalifa. It all seemed too good to be true. Construction was slated to commence in November 2012, pending government approval, promising the world a new tallest building within 90 days. However, as 90 days came and went, there was no sign of the building. With each passing month, people grew increasingly skeptical about whether this project would ever materialize. In February 2013, a journalist from Forbes contacted the developer firm's office, only to be informed that they could not disclose any information on the project. Suddenly, a project that had been desperate for publicity became exceedingly quiet. In the subsequent months and years, the site that was supposed to host the world's tallest building lay barren and overgrown with weeds. By 2015, the foundations were filled with water, prompting locals to take matters into their own hands. They transformed the abandoned land into fish farms, with one local explaining, "I raise fish on the construction site. It's not in secret, but neither have I ever been stopped." The ingenuity didn't stop there, as residents began growing watermelons along the banks of the fish farms, utilizing access roads originally intended for the construction site for grain cultivation. While Sky City represented a novel and innovative approach to construction, our next project focused on pushing the boundaries of size and grandeur, regardless of the cost. Number 3. Azerbaijan Tower. At number 3, we have the Azerbaijan Tower. In 2010, Azerbaijani businessman Ibrahim Abrahimov was on a flight from Dubai to Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan. Inspired by Dubai's transformation into a global architectural wonder due to its stunning buildings, Ibrahim wondered if he can replicate this success in Baku, a city with substantial wealth from its abundant oil reserves. During his 3-hour flight, instead of watching a movie or listening to music, he decided to sketch his vision for Baku's future. His ambitious plan involved creating artificial islands in the Caspian Sea, known as the Khazar Islands, with the Azerbaijan Tower as their centerpiece. However, merely emulating Dubai's success wouldn't suffice. Ibrahim believed Baku needed something even taller than the Burj Khalifa and larger than any other building under construction. Ibrahimov set his sights on a height of 1,050 meters, surpassing both the Burj Khalifa and the proposed Jeddah Tower in Saudi Arabia. His bold vision quickly drew the attention of the New York Times. In an interview, he estimated the tower's cost at $3 billion, stating that he was willing to build it on his own, driven by his determination and passion. Ibrahimov even declared that if someone attempted to build a taller structure, he would construct an even taller one. The New York Times headline captured the essence. Azerbaijan is rich. Now it wants to be famous. The Azerbaijan Tower was designed to be surrounded by 55 artificial islands, featuring hotels, a yacht club, its own airport, and even a Formula One racetrack. While the tower itself carried a $3 billion price tag, the entire project, including the islands, would cost around $100 million. Construction commenced in 2015, with plans to complete the tower by 2019. However, Azerbaijan's economy had become heavily reliant on oil and gas, and when oil prices plummeted in 2015, so did the Azerbaijani economy. In the midst of this economic crisis, Ibrahimov found himself in trouble with the authorities. In 2015, as he was about to board a plane to escape the authorities seeking his arrest, he was apprehended by the police. The arrest was related to a $57 million loan he had failed to repay, intended for the construction of the Khazar Islands. By 2019, the year Baku was supposed to host the world's tallest building, a feasibility study was conducted to determine the future of the reclaimed islands off the city's coast. However, to this day, there is no indication of the project resuming. Number 2. The Illinois. Our next entry, the Illinois, transports us back to the 1950s. Despite its proposal several decades ago, this skyscraper dwarfs any of the previously mentioned towers. In 1956, the renowned Chicago architect Frank Lloyd Wright welcomed the journalist from the Chicago Tribune to his home. During this meeting, he made a statement that would grab headlines and draw a captivated audience 6 weeks later when he unveiled his vision at the Sherman House Hotel in Chicago. Wright boldly proposed a skyscraper so colossal that the Empire State Building would seem minuscule in comparison. The world's first mile-high skyscraper, standing in a staggering 1.6 kilometers tall. This monumental structure would house 528 floors and boast 76 elevators. As a precaution for elevator malfunctions, space for over 100 helicopters was also incorporated. Wright envisioned a vertical urbanization concept where the building wouldn't merely be part of a city, it would be a city in itself, accommodating office, residential, and hospitality spaces. It was a place where people could live, work, and relax all under one roof. While Wright's proposal generated significant publicity, serious developers were scarce, as many considered it a daunting endeavor. Nevertheless, a closer look at his designs reveals a groundbreaking three-lode structural system, a revolutionary concept at the time. Wright believed buildings should mimic tall trees with deep underground roots that support them. This concept has since influenced the design of numerous skyscrapers, including the Burj Khalifa. Although Frank Lloyd Wright never had the opportunity to design the world's tallest building, his innovative ideas continue to influence modern skyscraper design. While the Burj Khalifa currently reigns as Dubai's tallest building, the city is far from finished in its pursuit of the sky. In fact, Dubai has proposed skyscrapers that far surpass the Burj Khalifa in height. Number 1. Dubai City Tower. At number 1, we have the Dubai City Tower, a colossal structure with a planned height of 2,400 meters. If realized, this tower would have loomed nearly 3 times taller than the Burj Khalifa and an astonishing 7 times taller than the Eiffel Tower. Such extraordinary height would have required exceptionally fast elevators, reaching speeds akin to a bullet train, clocking in at 200 kilometers per hour. But it wasn't just a building, it was an entire vertical city. Each 100-floor segment of this immense 400-story structure would host a distinct neighborhood. To reach these dizzying heights, the designers proposed surrounding buildings to both support the central core and shield it from fierce winds. For every 100 floors, a supplementary adjoining building would link to the core. These structures were ingeniously designed to spiral around the central building, offering protection from all directions. Proposed in 2009, the Dubai City Tower has remained stagnant, with no progress or clarity on its future. Speculation abounds regarding the reasons behind this stasis, including financial challenges, feasibility concerns, political complexities, or perhaps, as with other projects on this list, some visions simply weren't meant to come to fruition. What are your thoughts? Would you like to see any of these remarkable structures become reality? Please share your opinions in the comments below. If you found this video enjoyable, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Top Futuristic. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.